It's pretty safe to say that everyone in business, no matter where they are located, are aware of the opportunities coming up from e-commerce or e-marketing space. While awareness starts, actually knowing how to take advantage of those opportunities is a different beast altogether. And it's so great to see someone who is helping businesses to do just that. Here with us today, none other than Ashley Galina Dudarenok, China marketing blogger. Hi Ashley, how are you doing?
Hello, fantastic to be here.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful to be back in KL.
Yeah, this is not your first time in Malaysia, I
No,
believe.
no. I've been in Malaysia many times before and in KL twice.
Oh, okay. That's good. How do you see Malaysia? How do you see Malaysia?
Fantastic. It's warm, it's nice, it's all about durian, it's all about,
durian. You have tried durian?
Of course,
Oh, okay.
of course. I've been living in Asia for a while. Durian is my second name.
That's amazing. Okay, actually, first and foremost, maybe you can tell us about yourself and what is your story?
So myself, I am a serial entrepreneur, I am a vlogger, I am a blogger, I'm a book author, and my whole professional career is basically revolving around China. How I see myself is more like, bringing China to the world, explaining the new China, explaining the new modern Chinese consumers and the new realities to the world. And I do a lot of public speaking in that space. Two of my companies that are working out of Hong Kong, one is a digital agency and the other one is a training company. Are also focusing on the China space. So, Mrs. China.
All right, being a marketing expert and a blogger yourself, what are the opportunities available from the online, according to you?
Well, I would say that right now, anyone and everyone in business, no matter what business you are doing, no matter whether this is China, Malaysia, Indonesia, or Thailand, does not matter. You need to be in the online space, and what is even more important, you need to be doing personal branding. So for me, I've been doing marketing for 7 years now. But only the past year and a half, I've been putting a lot of effort on my personal brand. Because previously, I was trying to market my companies. I've got an agency, and I need to have a nice logo, and I need to have a website, and I need to do all those things. This is great. But the real kick comes when you realize that people don't care about companies. People care about other people, especially if you are providing services. Even if you provide products, everybody wants to know about the story of the owner. You want to be the next Jack Ma. You want to be the next, you want to be the next Elon Musk.
Yes.
Etc. So no matter whether it's B2B or B2C space, blogging is super crucial, especially in this day and age, because social media provides us a channel to reach people, right? But it's up to us to create content. Most of the people are shy. Most of the people feel they're not experts. Most of the people, just don't have the consistency to pull through with this. We all know what needs to be done.
Yes.
And if you want to have, 1, 2, 3, what needs to be done? Number one, you need to get on social media networks. You need to choose the right channel for you.
Yes.
If you are in B2B business, it's LinkedIn. If you're in B2C business, maybe it's Instagram. Or again, in China, there are unique platforms. And number two, you need to create relevant content that shares value. And number three, you need to do it consistently. We all know what to do. But why people don't do it? As I said, for me, when I just started that journey, I also didn't really like myself on camera. I didn't really like recording those videos. I felt, do I really have stuff to share? But you need to overcome that stuff. Secondly, becoming an expert. You need to build a network, people around you that are also influencers, that are writing books, reading books, etc. You need to immerse yourself into that. And all the information that is coming from you is basically, you are getting all this information, you are digesting it, and it's your job to give it back to the people, right? So becoming a blogger, if you are in any kind of business, entrepreneurship, you need to become a thought leader. And how that propelled my career, it was completely transformational. Most of other thought leaders that you hear about, from Steve Jobs to Elon Musk to Virgin Atlantic CEO, everybody and anybody has been through that journey on being a business owner and then becoming an influencer and thought leader. So that's why when you ask what kind of opportunities are there, the opportunities are immense. We all know what to do. It's just the consistency and the focus and actually going out and doing that.
Amazing. What excites you about what you are doing now?
What excites me most is that I actually transform people's lives.
Okay.
Because, first of all, I inspire a lot of people because they see, when you look at somebody like Elon Musk or Richard Branson, they are too far away. You know, you tell their story.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're giant names and they're too far away. But when they see a person that started pretty much like anybody else, and in the past 2 years been able to go from, you know, from just operating a business to becoming a mini celebrity in her space, that's very inspirational. So that for me is a huge, you know, addition to whatever I'm doing. Besides that, as I said, I really love China, and I was able to witness the way China transformed itself in the past 15 years. I witnessed that firsthand. So that is why I feel very privileged to be able to explain what's happening in modern China to the rest of the world. Because China is misunderstood. And it's not only rosy and it's not only gloomy. It's somewhere in between. It really depends. It needs to be explained a lot. And I take pride in understanding China, and I'm very excited in, you know, explaining it, because then business people with whom I work through, again, digital agency or through training or through all other things, people can take educated decisions, they can move ahead and actually save a lot of time, money, resources, and be a lot more successful in that market as well.
Yeah, why choose China?
Why China? That's a fantastic question. So when I was 16 years old, so basically I was born in Russia, and then I also studied abroad, and at 16 years old, I was choosing the place to study because I didn't plan, you know, to study in Russia going forward in my university. And I had pretty much a choice between India and China, because I felt these two countries would be driving the world in, you know, in the next 40 years. And I'm very happy that I chose China to go ahead, because it just you know, developed very, very fast. Besides that, I was born in the Russian Far East, which borders on China. So I was born in Vladivostok, which is very close to Japan, Korea, and mainland China. So I had early exposure to that place. And the last reason is that my boyfriend at the time was also studying Chinese. So that was probably a little bit of a contribution factor why I chose China and moved to mainland and started my career there. And once I, again, threw myself there, studied the language, I speak, read, write Mandarin, Chinese, understood how business works, that became literally, that determined my professional success. Because everything and anything I did from there onwards was China.
Okay, amazing. In your own perspective, what has changed in the Chinese market compared to this modern area?
So in the past 15 years, first of all, defining China market is extremely important, because China is not a unified economy, and it's not a unified market. So it's a lot more like Europe. When I look at China, I actually see 33 distinct markets, because China has 23 provinces, plus they have tons of city of, let's say, municipalities and special administrative cities, etc. So China as a whole is a very interesting place, and you will never sell the same way to guys from Chongqing as you sell to the guys from Shanghai or Guangzhou. So what changed? A lot of first-tier cities became the world's most sophisticated, let's say, breeding grounds for consumers. So I can definitely tell when I got to China, and it was the city of Chongqing, 34 million people. And when I was landing, I was sitting there and thinking, I couldn't find a Wikipedia page on this place. Most likely it's a small village with chicken running around. And then I land and I figure out there are 34 million people living there. It's developing extremely fast, but the sophistication level of consumers was very, very low. Right? Because again, it was a second-tier city going on a third-tier city going on second-tier city. Right now, people from Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen are so sophisticated that they know what they want. They know how to guide companies and demand services from providers both in China and outside of China. That is why so many, let's say, Malaysian businesses right now are extremely excited to have WeChat Pay, right? Because they can finally provide services to Chinese travelers through convenient means, right? So first of all, the sophistication definitely went up a huge notch. The second thing that changed in China is, of course, the profile of companies that are coming in. So let's say 15 years ago, it was only large international companies who could, you know, come in China, waste 5 years of budgets and not make money and then try to be successful in that market. But right now, more and more smaller businesses are moving in, mid-sized companies. China is still very expensive. You cannot go there with $200 budgets, but you definitely can do something on a smaller budget. China has definitely become a lot more social. So how I remember China, it was still not, it was unified by TV and traditional media. Right now, China is unified by two things. Number one, the language. They all speak, obviously, Mandarin Chinese. Even though Mandarin Chinese is not, you know, one of the ancient dialects. When I ask people...
And you can speak in Mandarin.
I can speak Mandarin, exactly. Exactly. And when I ask people, how old is Mandarin Chinese? Many say, oh, 3,000 years old. In fact, Mandarin Chinese is just 70 years old. Yeah, you know, Chinese Communist Party established this language based on the Beijing dialect, right? So the language is one thing, and the second thing that unites the whole market is social media. So everybody, no matter where you come from, you are, if you have a smartphone device, you have social networks, and you can talk about things, you can participate in discussions. So this whole market became a lot more social. And the last thing, number 4, China has always been very entrepreneurial. As a child, I mean, you know that very well. As a child, I remember that most of the clothes and daily necessities that we bought in Russia were coming from Chinese markets.
Made in China.
Mainland China and Chinese markets operated by mainland Chinese, you know, shop owners. And it was fantastic and fascinating to see how they were, you know, bargaining, and they were just doing business and trading and all that. But right now, the sophistication of the market, first of all, it's moving very fast. It's still very entrepreneurial, but it's also very open to new ideas, and they are very fast adapting it. So China, back in the day, 20 years, 15 years ago, it was all about copying as is, copying as is, copying as is. Right now, it's taking it, improving it, and launching. So in the startup world, there are concepts 0 to 1. So this concept means there was no product and you invented the product from 0 to 1. And then the second concept is called 1 to market. So you had something, then you improved it, and you actually successfully launched it in the market. So it started making money. So China, back in the day, was not part of this game at all. Right now, in some industries, they are already very good at 0 to 1, but in most industries, there are still very strong backings from Western countries. But they are the world's best country to do 1 to market in anything. A lot of technology was not born there, but they adapted it and made it so much more powerful. Right now they're inventing things and launching it to the market. So as you see, there are so many changes that happened in such a short time. And the whole market is very enthusiastic. They are all about growth. They are all about booming. They are all about digitalization. Even a 90-year-old grandfather of a friend of mine can use WeChat by himself to order a cab, pay for stuff, you know, subscribe to some accounts, do online shopping. It's crazy. My mom is 63. She can barely use FaceTime. So changes are huge.
Yeah, correct. Talking about China, and you mentioned earlier about booming. Currently, what is booming in China, according to your perspective?
Right now, if I could choose one thing that is the most exciting, it's the concept called new retail.
New retail, okay.
New retail. So this is a term coined by Jack Ma from Alibaba, right? And he coined it in 2016 when he started talking about the 5 new directions where China is going. So he spoke about new manufacturing and new finance, etc., etc., etc. So what are those key industries that we need to reinvent in order to stay at top of, you know, the future? And in the heart of that concept of 5, there was new retail. And new retail essentially does not mean omni-channel. You know, when a merchandiser or the brand is present online, offline, on mobile, because a lot of people confuse it with omnichannel. But new retail, it means there is a consumer in the heart of the of this ecosystem, and the consumer is sharing his data to, let's call it, a little cloud around him, and then all the different providers are plugging into that cloud. They don't know the name of the consumer, but they know his data, so they are able to provide services in the most convenient way to this specific consumer. Besides that, through this little cloud around the consumer, they are able to exchange information and basically offer this kind of cross-promotional things. For instance, there are a couple of, they're called pop-up stores or new retail stores in China. So when I walk in to the retail store, and this is not the future, this is not me talking about the prototype that's going to launch in 5 years. This is me talking about the stores that are right now in operation in China. So imagine this, you come into a department store, let's say store, and you scan a QR code for your Alipay to open up your wallet. You walk through the door, that's it, you can put your phone away because your wallet is open, and everything that's happened in the store is done through facial recognition technology. Right? So your whole movement is through facial recognition. You've got a cart, and you're driving this cart. You see shelves, and you can pick up your phone, and it's written like this shelf is a VR. So you can scan the shelf, and you will see a little dude appearing and promoting a product for you. So the little VR person appears on your screen that's plugging this product specifically for you. Then some products are equipped with facial recognition technology, and they will ask you to smile for discount. So you smile and you get a better discount, or they will ask you to jump for discount. So retail essentially becomes entertainment. People go to offline spaces because they want to experience something different.
They go one up lever.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, that also means that when the technology is perfected, they will be able to tell whether you're looking at this product and you're interested, or you're confused, or you're excited. And what's really cool is that they have those price tags that are digital price tags for each product, so you don't need to manually change it. And the price tag, once I come to a product and they know that I am a VIP, let's say in this store or for this brand, the price will change from original price to Ashley's price. Automatically from Ashley's VIP price. Besides that, this is the cool part where new retail really comes in. When I pick up the product and I liked it, so it means I agreed to the price, the system already knows that last night, for example, I'm buying myself a pillow. So the system already knows that last night I was on Taobao, a completely different platform online, looking at blankets. And it tells me, if you buy 2 pillows right now here in this store, which has nothing to do with Taobao, we will give you that blanket for 50% discount. So you know what I mean when I talk about this cloud of data that's floating?
How it relates together.
And all other, let's say, players have access to this data. They don't know who I am and my name and all other stuff, but they can utilize it to make my experience smooth and cool and fun. So that's really, really cool. Once I put it into the cart, that's it. I accepted the price. I accepted the terms. I can have it delivered to my home. I can walk out with it because the payment is already done, right, when I open. So this is new retail. And it's not only happening in retail stores or department stores or supermarkets. It's happening in hair salons. When I can sit in a hair salon and there is a little live streaming site, I can plug my phone and I start live streaming my haircut to other chain hair salons in that town. So I can gain followers and people can be entertained when they are doing their hair. So this is, the merger between, for example, consumers and bloggers will also be happening very, very soon, which means right now we are paying somebody, we're paying a platform for advertising. We are paying a blogger to advertise again for us. But think about that. In a couple of years from now, each of us has probably about 500 or 600 friends on, let's say, Facebook or Instagram. So when you're making purchasing decisions and when you purchase a new pair of shoes, wouldn't your friends be really interested to know that you really like that pair of shoes? Wouldn't they follow your recommendation much more than just a recommendation of some advertising or a blogger? They most likely would. So what's coming up is that they will merge a blogger and the, let's say, platform. So when you make a purchase, you share a picture, and if other people within your network are going to make this purchase based on your recommendation, you are going to get a kickback, and the person who is buying is also going to get a discount. So it's essentially going to be like Airbnb, invite your friends and both of you benefit. So exactly that. So the marketing budget you know, that we are now investing in just platform, just to advertise, just the volume, is probably going to be distributed slightly differently in the coming years. So all of that, I spoke a lot, but all of that, that is extremely exciting, because new retail is not just about retail. It's about offline spaces. It's about VR technology, where you can come in and the store recognizes you and they put an avatar, and without going inside the changing room, you can already check how will it look on you. It's about putting a mascara or something on your face right there. It's about bringing so much technology, so much supply chain, so much social media all together and bringing it to the real future. So China is pioneering the world in that. And it's not only happening, you know, through Alibaba efforts. Tencent and JD are also on it, right? So it's definitely happening in China, and coming out of China is going to spread in Southeast Asia and the world. No matter whether you like it, you understand it or what, it's coming to you very, very soon. It's going to come to you because this technology is contagious, and it's going to come to you because Chinese travelers are going to demand that level of service and sophistication from merchants outside of mainland China when they travel, right? So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting, amazing. All right, actually, we wish to have more time to talk about this, but last but not least, maybe you can share with us the book that you have today.
Yes.
Last but not least, tell us about the book.
So very recently, earlier this year, I published a book which is called Unlocking the World's Largest E-Market, a guide to selling on Chinese social media. And this book is all about, you know, Chinese consumers. It's all about WeChat. It's about Weibo. It's about the future of China in terms of where this is going. It became an Amazon bestseller in 2 categories.
Okay, that's inspiring.
And 2 more books are coming this year. One about Chinese bloggers in particular. And the second one is going to be about new retail in particular. So China market is super fun. I hope that more and more Malaysian entrepreneurs consider it, either to enter it or to leverage it here in Malaysia when Chinese are coming in, you know, to travel and to spend.
All right, actually, how can people connect with you, lastly?
Definitely connect with me on my LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is Ashley Galina Dudarenok, or they can definitely check out the website, which is chozan.co or elleries.com.hk.
All right, thank you, Ashley, for sharing your amazing experiences. Maybe
thank you so much.
You can inspire others to do what the same as you do. All right, it's a wrap for our interview segment. We'll go for a short break after this, but before that, let's take a look at our bulletin ringkas.
Rapid Rail Sdn Bhd akan mengadakan latihan simulasi berskala besar berkonsepkan suasana cemas tahap ekstrim